Tennyson, Shaw, Shakespeare, Dickens. What a wealth of literature there is in a library if you can read. But many people are surprised to find out that millions and millions of Americans cannot read. They are functionally illiterate. And in many communities around the country right now, computers are being used to help solve the problem of adult illiteracy.
Boy, are they ever. However, you may or may not like how they are going about it. Computers can do amazing things to assist people in learning to read and write, but this might not always be the case. The technology now exists that allows computers to read and write for you. More and more information is being digitized and stored as electronic media. One university class is even moving away from having students write papers, and instead they are presenting their knowledge in video format as multimedia.
Unlike literacy, which demands the lengthy acquisition of reading and writing skills, electronic media are far more accessible to people of all ages.
So the question is, would you become literate if you didn't have to? If nothing in your daily life required you to read a book, would you? Imagine there was no street signs, no bus schedules, no instruction manuals. If you wanted to know something, you simply asked the computer, and it told you or showed you the information. One might argue that there's an inherent pleasure in reading, but I'm not convinced that this is the case. The emergence of reading and writing came as a technology to extend humankind. We developed it because we had to, because it helped us communicate and to remember. But things are changing.
The computer media revolution affects all stages of communication, including acquisition, manipulation, storage, and distribution. It also affects all types of media: texts, still images, moving images, sound, and spatial constructions.
New electronic technology gives us the ability to communicate, store, and retrieve vast amounts of information without the need for books.
Electric technology seems to favor the inclusive and participational spoken word over the specialist written word. Our Western values, built on the written word, have already been considerably affected by the electric media of telephone, radio, and TV. Suppose that, instead of displaying the stars and stripes, we were to write the words "American flag" across a piece of cloth and display that. While the symbols would convey the same meaning, the effect would be quite different.
If you really think about it, reading and writing are slow ways of communicating and inefficient ways of storing information. Stephen Johnson creates an interesting thought experiment, positing what critics would say about books if video games had come before them.
Reading books chronically understimulates the senses. Books are also tragically isolating. While games for many years engage the young in complex social relationships with their peers, books force the child to sequester him or herself in a quiet space. Perhaps the most dangerous property of these books is the fact that they follow a fixed linear path. You can't control the narrative in any fashion. This risks instilling a general passivity in our children.
Conversely, Paul Virilio is concerned with the technologies of speed, which exert a major impact on our sense of time, of space, even our consciousness. Someone else was concerned with technologies of speed too.
Sometimes
my wife says books aren't real.
Or I listen.
Thank God for that.
And you know what? You can shut them.
What?
Say, people don't talk about anything.
You play God to it. But who has ever torn himself from the claw that encloses you
cars or
when you drop a seed in a
pools,
TV
mostly, and say how it
clothes you in any shape it
We
wishes?
all say the same things.
It is an environment as real as the world. It becomes and is the truth.
Most of the time, in cafes,
Books can be
they have the
beaten
joke
down
boxes
with reason,
and the same jokes.
but with all my
Most of the
knowledge and
time.
skepticism,
Or
I'd never
musical
been able
wall,
to argue
lit
the
and all
100
colored
symphony
patterns
orchestra,
running up and down.
full color, three
But it's only
dimensions,
color.
and I being in one of those incredible parlors. So, what is the future of books? What is the future of literacy? I don't know. I do know that we are producing more information and more media at this time than at any other point in history, and that we are storing almost all of that information in some digital format or another. I know that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and that my computer routinely shows me 30 pictures a second. I know that my students would rather watch a video instructing them how to do something than to read the manual. It scares me a little to think of a world without books, without reading or writing. But there are some words that comfort me a little. It's not books you need. It's the sum of the things that were once in books. The same things could be in parlor families today. The same infinite detail and awareness could be projected through the radios and televisors, but are not. No, it's not books at all you're looking for. Take it where you can find it. In old phonograph records, old motion pictures, and in old friends. Look for it in nature, and look for it in yourself. Books were only one type of receptacle, where we stored a lot of things we were afraid we might forget. There's nothing magical in them at all. The magic is only in what books say, how they stitch the patches of the universe together into one garment for us.